You know, for decades, we've all been told this same simple story. The firewall is our digital fortress. It's the wall that keeps the bad guys out. But what if that story is just plain wrong? What if that wall, that very thing we trust, is now the weakest link in the entire chain? What if the tools we've spent millions on for protection have actually become the front door for the world's most dangerous attackers?
Look, it's time we all face a really harsh reality. The whole concept of a secure network perimeter, that cozy idea of a safe inside and a dangerous outside, it's dead. And the real kicker? The firewall vendors themselves are the ones who killed it. They've become the single greatest source of critical vulnerabilities in so many networks today. And the cost? Well, it's just staggering. That number you're looking at, that's over $500 million in verified ransomware payments. That's money flowing directly into the pockets of criminals who basically just walked right through the front door of these broken firewalls. This isn't just some technical glitch. It's the fuel for a massive global criminal economy.
But it's not just about the money, is it? It's about the human cost. In just one single year, the personal healthcare data of 259 million Americans was compromised. I mean, think about that. That's almost the entire population. And a staggering number of those breaches, they started in the exact same way, by exploiting a single, vulnerable network device. And sometimes the cost isn't just a number, it's everything. This number, 730, represents 730 people who lost their jobs overnight, not because of a recession or a bad market, but because one single ransomware attack, which got in through their company's firewall, completely wiped a 158-year-old business off the map in a matter of weeks. So you have to understand, this isn't random. It's not just bad luck. A sophisticated, almost business-like ecosystem has popped up around these security flaws. It's a literal gold rush for criminals, and the broken firewalls from the world's top vendors, they're the treasure map leading straight to the gold.
And you can see it right here. This is the direct pipeline from a product vulnerability to real-world devastation. It's not abstract at all. You've got the Akira ransomware group, who absolutely loves going after Cisco and SonicWall devices, and they've racked in nearly $250 million. Then you have the Qilin group targeting Fortinet, which led to absolute chaos in the UK's healthcare system. These aren't one-off attacks. They are known, repeatable, and highly profitable business models.
This isn't some kind of dark magic. It's a business plan. Let's just walk through the Akira Group's playbook. Step 1, scan the internet for a vulnerable Cisco device. Step 2, get in using an old bug or, you guessed it, a weak password. Step 3, bypass security by just spamming an employee with login alerts until they accidentally approve one. And once they're in, they move fast. They can steal a company's most sensitive data in as little as 2 hours before locking the whole system down. It's methodical, it's efficient, and it is devastatingly effective. Okay, so we've talked about the tech and the criminals. But let's really dig into what this means for real people. Because behind all the technical jargon and big numbers are businesses collapsing and, frankly, lives being put at risk. So let me tell you a story. It's about a company called KNP Logistics, a company that had been around for 158 years. They survived world wars, depressions, you name it. They were a pillar of the UK logistics industry, employing hundreds of people. And then it was all gone, wiped out. Not by a market competitor, not by a bad economy, but by the Akira ransomware group exploiting one single weak password on a Cisco VPN. Their entire financial and operational systems were encrypted, and the company just couldn't recover. And you want to know the most painful part of this whole story? It was all completely preventable. This wasn't some super sophisticated Mission Impossible style hack. It came down to a lack of the absolute basics. No multi-factor authentication, that simple step of requiring a second code to log in an old unpatched device. This is the digital equivalent of leaving your front door unlocked with a giant neon sign that says welcome. And if you think a company going under is bad, the consequences can get so much worse. In the UK, the Qilin Group reached a healthcare provider by exploiting a Fortinet firewall. The initial reports were bad enough, something like 700 procedures canceled. But the final tally? It was over 10,000. Just let that sink in for a second. 10,000 canceled cancer treatments, surgeries, blood transfusions, all because of one compromised device. And the ripple effect here is just massive. When attackers hit Marquee Software Solutions, a financial tech company, through their SonicWall firewall, they didn't just hit one company. No, they compromised the personal and financial data of nearly 800,000 customers from over 700 different banks and credit unions.
One single firewall breach created a nationwide financial data crisis. But here's the thing, this is way bigger than just ransomware for profit. The exact same vulnerabilities that let criminals in are also being used as a playground for the world's most sophisticated government-backed espionage groups. The key difference here really is the motive. Ransomware groups are loud. There is smash and grab. They break things to get paid quickly. But nation-state spies, they are the exact opposite. Their goal is silent, long-term persistence. They want to sit inside a network for months, even years, quietly gathering intelligence without anyone ever knowing they're there. They're ghosts in the machine.
And the tools they use, honestly, they're on a whole other level. Take something called Line Runner. It's a piece of malware targeting Cisco devices. This is not something you can just fix with a simple patch. No, it's designed to survive everything: reboots, software updates, even a full upgrade of the device's core programming. The only way to be sure it's gone is to physically rip out the hardware and replace it.
And if you think this is just some hypothetical sci-fi threat, think again. This is very real. During a U.S. government shutdown, when IT staff weren't around to do patching, attackers breached the Congressional Budget Office through their unpatched Cisco firewalls. They got access to sensitive economic forecasts and budget discussions. This is happening at the highest levels.
So it's absolutely critical that we all understand that this isn't just a Cisco problem or a Fortinet problem. This is a systemic failure. We are right in the middle of an industry-wide crisis, where the very foundation of network security is crumbling right underneath our feet. And you don't have to take my word for it. Just look at the data from CISA, the U.S. cybersecurity agency. These are the known, actively exploited vulnerabilities that they are tracking for each major vendor. Fortinet has 20, SonicWall, 14, Cisco, 12, and the list just keeps going. Every major player is contributing to this crisis. There is no safe harbor here. And this crisis, it didn't just pop up overnight. This timeline shows a 5-year disaster in the making. It began with some early warning signs back in 2021, then it accelerated as ransomware groups started to scale up in 2022, and by 2024, we hit peak chaos. We've now arrived in this bizarre state of crisis normalization, where catastrophic breaches are just a constant background noise, and tens of thousands of critical devices are just sitting ducks.
Which, of course, leaves us with the most important question of all. For years, we've poured our trust and our budgets into these little boxes at the edge of our networks. We've built our entire security strategy around them. So, if the firewalls are fundamentally broken, what's actually protecting our hospitals, our banks, our most critical data? What's protecting us?